So yeah, I'm just going to watch the first fight. We'll see where you're at, and then I'll start talking about things.
The payload moves toward its predicted outcome.
Oh man. I did not get a ton of sleep last night, so hopefully I'm still smart and stuff. Okay. Honestly, this is really not bad. This is a better starting point than I would expect for Silver. So, we block a little bit of the damage, it's fine. We don't waste our shield though, so that's good. It's already regenning. It should, ideally, in an ideal world, your diva is pushing cart because she can DM, and you're up here because you can poke from here, and she can't really, yeah? This is so far out of her effective range, she's doing jack shit. But she could be pushing the cart and DMing and always fly away and, like, dive if it comes time to dive, whatever. It's a Silver game. I recognize that that's not going to happen. But what is happening is you got your DPS here. That's not great. You can kind of stay here and tank for them and try to keep them up, and I think that is okay as an elo adaptation. I just kind of want you to know that, like, this is a much better spot for you because you can poke from up here. You got a high ground. It's really hard for them to dive you, and you can just, like, come to the side here for cover or back up down the stairs for cover. Yeah? And you can do stuff from here, and then when you want to push, you just drop. But whatever. It's actually kind of fine that you're pushing the cart. But specifically for the sake of protecting your feeding DPS, yeah? And you're not hard feeding, like, for them, so it's fine. And here we're poking, it's all good. Oh, there was one thing I was going to point out. So, you don't have wall hacks. Let me go a little bit further. You don't have wall hacks to see this Ana right here, but if you watch, you can still see her projectiles going through. She only gets the tracer across the screen when she scopes in, but you can still see the unscoped projectiles. It's not a big deal, but if you notice that, then you can start spamming this wall and bouncing those shots into the Ana, and you can pressure her out. And she either has to, from where she's sitting, and why this is kind of a bad spot, is she would either have to cross open space now, which would give you an opportunity to kill her, or she has to back down these stairs away from her tanks and her team, so they don't have any healing until they all back up around this, or she makes it all the way around the building. Yeah? Either way, it means you get to push really hard after that, yeah? But whatever, we don't notice that, it's not a big deal. So far so good. Spamming over this is good. Also remember though, you can bounce them into here, and that can be really nice too. We kind of waste our suck. It's okay. And our shield, you sort of put it out randomly, yeah? And sometimes it's fine, and other times it's just sort of there. And using your shield like that, it does two things. It gets your shield broken faster, although you are pretty good at not leaving it out. The constant putting it out and pulling it back means it doesn't really get time to regen, yeah? Necessarily. But other than it potentially wasting your shield, it also kind of baits your teammates in this elo, yeah? People from like mid-plat on down really trust shields way too much. They rely on them. They think that they need a shield, which you don't. Although this map is good for them. Like, this is just a good double shield map, but it's also a good dive map. But anyway. Shit. ADHD moment. What was I saying? Yeah, it can bait your teammates. They might peek to, like, do stuff behind that shield, and then you drop it, and then they get hooked by this hog, or they just eat a bunch of damage, yeah? So, the way you want to use your shield instead is know what you're blocking, yeah? You, as Sigma, are actually super well equipped to shut this guy down. Not to kill him, but to just, well, sometimes, but to just deny him all of his value. Anytime he peeks, you put your shield in his face and you will block his hook, because he's going to throw his hook first thing. It's like the very first thing most hogs do, especially in this elo, yeah? Once he's thrown his hook, then you have, 8 seconds? You can do other things. 8 seconds later, you start looking for the hog again, you block his next hook. If you see him vape, you rock it to cancel it, and he probably dies, because they rely on their vape to get out alive in this elo. And they don't expect it to get canceled. Like, they're never ready for the rock somehow. Anyway. Otherwise, use your shield to block specific things, yeah? Know what you're blocking. Know what, like, if there's a teammate that you're worried they're gonna die, hell yeah, shield them. If, like, some of the Pharaoh rockets, like, if she lands a direct, you need to block the next one if you can, because the follow-up shot could kill a teammate, yeah? So, like, watching for that stuff, if you can block, sleep, and nade, that's huge. Block or eat either of them. But mostly, against the comp like this, I would be hard focusing the hog, yeah? You do what you can against these two, but realistically, your D.Va's a little bit better equipped for both of them, and you are better equipped to shut this guy down because your shield blocks his hook. D.Va has to get hooked in and fly out, and it's really annoying, yeah? For the D.Va, like. I say as a D.Va player. Like, D.Va can also shut down hog, but it's a lot less fun for the D.Va. Good rock. You had your suck. You could have eaten some damage to live there. Remember, your suck gives you shield health. So, you're not wasting your suck, but there were multiple opportunities where you could have used it to just eat a bunch of spam, especially the Pharah spam, rather than block it, and then use that shield health to push, or, you know, live, whatever. Again, if you have something specific that you want to eat rather than block, like some ultimates, some cooldowns, then maybe you save your suck for those. But otherwise, you want to use it when you see a massive wave of damage coming in already. Don't pop it early. To get that shield health, and then use that shield health to push, or go do something with it, yeah? I do want to point out there was a really good thing that you were doing better than most SIGs in this elo, but it can be better still. And it needs to be better still. But, like, for higher elos. Anyway, you were doing a shockingly good job of keeping the enemy team out of range, yeah? You were playing max range on Sigma a lot of the time. And that's really key. A lot of SIGs miss this. Your primary fire self-destructs at the edge of its range, which, other than doing, like, an AoE splash damage, small amount of splash damage, which, you know, it's an implosion. It sucks people in towards the center very slightly, and it slows them down. So it, like, helps keep them from walking on you if you, like, are hitting them, yeah? So if you're at the edge of your range and you miss ever so slightly, you still get the damage in. You already know this. You were doing it, yeah? But you want to actively maintain that spacing at all times. This Reinhardt got to swing on you a couple of times. Not a lot, and every time, by the time you got one swing, you were out, yeah? But he shouldn't really swing on you ever. The way Sigma plays is a war of attrition, yeah? Rein can't do shit to you if you're out of his range. Meanwhile, he either drops his shield and his team dies, or holds his shield and his shield breaks, and then his team dies because their main tank can't do jack shit. Yeah? Rein is the weakest tank in the game right now. Flat out. Because he has no mobility and no range. So people can just surround him and poke him out. Poke out his team. He can't really help them. They're taking a 5v6. Yeah? So long as you don't let him swing on you. And like I said, you did a pretty good job of that. Way better than your elo. But I be more cognizant, yeah, of it. Be more like active in maintaining that spacing at basically all times. There's some niche to that. Like there are times to push in, but I wouldn't worry about that yet. Yeah, practice your spacing. Get your spacing down, and that alone, probably gets you to gold or plat at least, dude. From what I've seen so far. Like, maybe there are some other egregious mistakes that we're missing, but from what I've seen so far, yeah. Like, your aim is fine. You don't seem to hard int. It's pretty good. It's going to be weird seeing other tanks besides Sigma be at 800 health. Are you thinking like Doomfist? Did I enjoy the montage? I did. Also, what was the song? Because that song was fucking a jam, and I need to send it to Joey because they would love it. Nice. So, I really want to see what you do now. You hear the fire. You're looking for it. I actually like that. I like that you didn't completely lose awareness, but now... yeah, okay. So, your Ashe going to hunt down the Pharah is kind of fine. Depending. The D.Va going to help, the Soldier going to help, that's even better. If D.Va and Soldier had gone, that's the best. And the reason is, they're fast. They can chase down the Pharah and then get back to the fight. If too many of you get pulled away and then this enemy team pushes before you can get back, your team ultimately loses this fight. And even though you killed the Pharah is the one who got value. Yeah? So, I'm not necessarily saying this was wrong. You just gotta be real careful about doing stuff like this. You don't want to forget about the Pharah. I'm really glad you didn't forget about the Pharah, but as Sigma, I wouldn't have gone to chase her down. Instead, since you want to rotate up here anyway, I would just come up to here, and from here it's easier for you to contest her anyway, because you're higher up, yeah? And, like, you got cover, you can back out places, and then from here, this is really where you want to be, yeah? Because we can start, like, pushing and poking up there while, again, our D.Va or somebody else pushes the cart. I'm not saying it's never you pushing the cart, but, like, with your current team comp, I would put your D.Va on, yeah? Because your D.Va can't do shit from range anyway, and you're not running any kind of dive, so if your D.Va dives in while you're pushing the cart, she's going to die. So you don't want your D.Va diving, so it's the only useful thing she can do right now, really, is push the cart until it's really time to brawl. And, you know, otherwise peel and protect people. Again, Silver D.Va, she doesn't know that. None of y'all know that. It's fine. It's not the biggest deal. I'm just kind of letting you know for the future that you don't want to be there, you really want to be here. High grounds, and high ground off angles in particular, are your best friend on Sigma, yeah? Because you're slow. And with your cooldowns and being up on a high ground, you are so hard to dive, yeah? You got your rock, you have shield, you have suck, and you can always drop, wasting their time and their cooldowns, yeah? Because, like, if you're on low ground, they can just drop on you from a high ground. If you're on a high ground, they either have to walk up these stairs and die, or they have to use some kind of mobility cooldown to get here, yeah? Which means if you just drop, you wasted that cooldown for free, yeah? It cost you nothing to step off the ledge there. I hope that's making sense, yeah? I understand that you can't be here for this one, but feel free. There's a question and answers channel in the Discord. If you have any questions about any of this, please feel free. Like, let me know. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. See, we're frontlining now. This is the mistake that is keeping us in silver instead of plat. Not gold, plat. We should be vibing in plat.
Protected, but not
If you are always maintaining your spacing, you're vibing in plat, like
understood.
almost
How
full
to make
stop.
the payload
Uh,
move once again.
because once it's again, you do it a lot, you really do. But because it's not always, because it's not every single time, the times that your spacing gets messed up, not every time, but those are the times that you die. And when you die, you can't contribute to this fight anymore. Yeah, your team has lost the tank. Yeah, and once they lose a tank, especially in a double off tank comp, if they lose you, Sigma, they lose a lot of frontline pressure. Yeah, you're basically the only you're not a frontline tank and you shouldn't be one, but because of your shield and your range, you can kind of hold people back as if there was a front line. Yeah? In a limited way. Yeah, you're not Reinhardt. You can't just stand there and live. But you're the closest thing. You're the only one that really holds people back away from your snipers or away from your DPS, yeah? Uh and looking at this, yeah? Who do you want to protect? You and your diva should be protecting all three of your DPS. Your Ashe, your Ana, your Soldier. They're all ranged people with a shield and a Sigma protecting them, with a diva protecting them. They just get to rain hell for free. Yeah. Uh. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. You just gotta hang back, make sure you live, and remember, war of attrition. Yeah. Sigma. It's not that Sigma can't take space and that there aren't ways to take space on Sigma, and you have to take space on Sigma at times, but he's not the best at it, yeah? It's not really what he's good at. What he's good at is giving up space. He is so fucking good at pressing S and then making the enemy team pay for every inch of it. So by the time they finally get to the fight, to the objective, to the cart, whatever, they're so worn down, you just roll them, yeah? As soon as they commit to a fight or you commit to a fight, they just explode because they have no cooldowns left, they're all low, their shields are broken, etc. Uh, yeah, you're just wearing them down. And the idea is you don't hard commit to a fight on Sigma until you know you can win. And that's a little bit experience, so, use your head. Just think about it, yeah? Do what... I've worn out a bunch of cooldowns. They look low to me. I think we can push this and win this. I'm going to yell to my team, let's push this. Very important. Even in silver, yell in comms that you're pushing in. Otherwise, they're likely to just stand still and let you walk in and die. But anyway, you push in, it works. Cool. You push in, you die. Cool. You learned from that, yeah? But that's the idea, is we don't hard commit to anything. We walk away. We run away. We play like the coward sniper tank. Sniper tank. I see you, Lily. Until we know we can win, or we're confident we can win, yeah? And in the interim, you're building up your ultimate, and your ultimate wins fights, yeah? Your ultimate is your big carry play. You play slow, and you build your ult, and if you need, like, some games, if you just play slow forever, nothing will ever happen. Some games, you personally have to be the one to make something happen. I get that. This is how you do it, yeah? You if by the time you have earned an entire ultimate, nothing has happened, you haven't been able to make something happen, no one on your team has been able to make something happen, then this guy makes something happen. Yeah? And in the interim, we're just poking and building our ult and living. Because if we live, we do more. Yeah? Yeah. You are taking a lot of damage on Sigma by playing this way. Uh, and so you have an Ana Moira, which is a shit ton of healing. But regardless of the quality, or the ability, I should say, regardless of the ability of your supports, yeah? The less damage you take, the easier and better it is for them, yeah? If you take less damage, but somebody else on your team is a feeder, they can devote more resources towards the feeder and help prevent you guys from just being always down a player. If you take less damage and they have good aim, then they get to do more damage, which is amazing. You really want your supports to have the luxury of shooting the enemy team. Yeah? That's just so fucking good. Uh, and, you know, if they're silver supports and they're just not that great, then if they're missing half their shots, it matters a little bit less because you're taking less damage. It's okay for them to miss more. Yeah? So, by playing positioning just like a little bit smarter with this, you take so much pressure off your team, both by diverting resources from the enemy, I'll talk about that in a second, and by requiring less from them so they can devote them where they, like, in other places, yeah? And here is, well, you know what? Let's wait for the next fight. I'm going to wait for the next fight to talk about making space on a tank, the often misunderstood and often desired skill. I love it. I do. Unlucky. Yeah? Let's talk about it. The timing was so good. The enemy team has not quite regrouped yet, but they're about to. So this is what I would call a tempo ult. Yeah? Rather than waiting for them to fully regroup to take a fight, you're getting some staggers just before they can take that fight. Ideally, yeah? And you just sort of keep the staggers rolling to keep the staggers rolling. So worth an ultimate. Great timing. Cover, yeah? We want to be high grounds and cover. So we hit that, click, boom. We're around this cover, and now the Ana can't sleep us. No one can shoot us. The Hog can't hook us out of ult. And then we're standing on a high ground and we can just keep spamming them. We can throw a rock, whatever. We can drop and push them from there. You don't want to go into open space like this with your ultimate. At the very least, you put your shield in front of you and you hold crouch when you hit it. And you'll still dip up above your shield, which is a risk, but then you'll crouch down below it and it'll protect you a little bit. Yeah? But ideally, boom. Did you know that Sigma can shield off Junkrat traps? Wait, what? I did not. Wait, how? Wait, does it break the trap if you push your shield through it, sort of thing? Or what is... What? But, anyway. I digress. Okay. You know, I'm just going to back up to show you this as an example. I get that this isn't how it played out. Wait. Boom. Boom. Okay. So, let's just say, for example, we're up here. Yeah? We're on an off-angle high ground. This is a very severe off-angle. You don't have to be fully behind them like this. This is extreme. But, extreme example to make it more clear, yeah? So if we're up here poking them, like, we can actually kill that Ana, we can actually, like, do meaningful damage on their DPS, and ideally you want to be poking out their squishies because that damage just hurts them more than poking at tanks. And then what do? If they ignore you, you kill them, or just farm your ult for free. If they turn to deal with you, they're turning away from your team, which means they can't shoot your team, which means your team has less fire to push through. They can push up. They can take space more easily, yeah? This is what making space is. It is literally shooting the enemy team from a different spot than the people you are making space for. That's the big secret that people don't really get. You gotta be standing somewhere else. Sometimes that somewhere else is right next to them. Yeah? They still have to look up to you. you're right next to your team. Yeah, it's not like we're live or die in the back line. We're still playing with our team, but because we're standing somewhere slightly different, it splits attention. Yeah, and if you, as Sigma, because you have shield and whatever, if you have like one or two people with you, that can be really good. I'm thinking like a DPS and maybe a support, or like a Zen who's both of those things. Uh, can be really nice because they can stand behind your shield and do super meaningful damage and make this off angle really strong, but it's still an off angle relative to other people in your team. And if you and your team take multiple angles and you split their attention in a whole bunch of different directions, they're fucked. Yeah? It is so hard for them to do anything. So, I'm not saying don't stand in front of your team. Ever. Yeah? But generally what you're looking to do as Sigma, if especially if you don't have like a Reinhardt or somebody who's better at it, you want to help them walk in, and then once they've taken space or started to take space, you need to look to split an angle. And then you need to look to push that angle if you can, and ideally take a high ground. So this next fight, when y'all roll out, they might drop and you hang here for a second. Yeah? And you let them fan out. Or you drop first, or you come to like here so you can play this. Or you drop and you rotate out to here. Or even you just rotate, like you come out of spawn and come out this way. Or you can even come all the way out this way if you really want to be sneaky, and if they're doing a good job of just like holding this and pressuring you out. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to watch the rest of this round just to see if there's like anything new, but I think at this point I'm just going to be repeating stuff for the most part. It doesn't, you just don't get trapped like with a Zarya bubble. Weird. That is weird. I did not know that. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. In this elo and with weird comps like this, etc., you gotta do what you gotta do. Like, I get that sometimes it's you pushing the cart, sometimes you have to be there in front of your team pretending to be a main tank because otherwise they'll feed and die. I get that. But I want you to know that that is, like, the least ideal thing you can possibly be doing, and if you have any other option, you really want to be on a high ground off angle. And if you have no other option, you need to leave as soon as you fucking have to. Like, as soon as possible. If they're gonna... You don't die for your teammates playing like that because it's worse for them, yeah? It's better for you to risk them just being in the front, pushing cart by themselves, while you draw aggro from an off angle. That is going to be better for them than you standing in front of them until you die. Every time, yeah? Nice. Good rock. Yeah. Take this time. So, remember I said Sig is really good at giving up space? So whenever you win a fight, you have to take as much space as you can. We have a Moira up here and a Reaper TPing up. Fuck it. I am here with them, yeah? If somebody comes out that way, I can throw a shield or my suck. You can always back out and around a corner. But now, as they come out of spawn, they're taking damage and spending resources. Before they ever get to touch the cart to stop it, they're spending resources. And you can just keep backing up and backing up. Yeah? Option 2, come up to here. Or up to here. Yeah? Cool. But by staying here on cart, like, you already have more than 3 people on cart, so it's not moving any faster for you being here. And now they get to take a whole bunch of space for free, and that's harder for you, and so much better for the Rhine. That's how Rhine wants to play. The fact that this Rhine was just standing still and not swinging his hammer was a big mistake on his part, yeah? Uh, nice. Kill cart first, yeah? Good old. But yeah. Kill the cart first and then hold people back after. You gotta make sure the cart's moving, yeah? But anyway, yeah, that was actually really good in a lot of ways. You're defaulting down main, yeah? You on Sigma are walking down main, low ground main, and it is the absolute last place you ever want to be. Like I said, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but this is your last and worst option. Yeah? This is never ever where you want to be on any map, is low ground in the middle. You live high ground to the side. Yeah. And then otherwise, you look to take as much space as you can when you can, and then you give it up as slowly as you can, but you give it up and you live, and you wear them down. Yeah? Honestly, honestly, like, that should get you to plat. But if you want to drop me another VOD, like, please feel free.